die right now. For real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For real.
What the fuck?
Real for real is crazy.
You did it, Lemon? You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, we're all here. Mikey, you ready, Mikey? What kind of shirt you wearing, Mikey?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's time to go, baby.
Alright, bet. You didn't answer my question. Pound, are you here?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, you guys ready to watch this Map Pat video? I'm so excited for it.
Turn on that stream, cuzzo.
Oh shit, it's not on.
Yeah. I was thinking about saying it earlier, but I was like, I think he knows. But glad I said something.
Fucking Lemon.
And Michael Myers is the biggest Matt Pat fan.
I hate
Hey.
He's actually gonna wait.
The scariest game.
I gotta have subtitles for his ass, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
That'd actually be.
I was gonna have to figure out what he's saying pre after.
I'm not gonna understand, bro.
For the parts you don't understand, just put random stuff like Mikey's really handsome.
Yeah,
or something,
I'll
you know,
do
or,
that.
or Ryan's is such a Chad.
I'll do that.
Subscribe to Ryan's channel or the Blackout TV. Like, bro did not say that.
I couldn't even hear it.
He says he's good to go.
You good to go, Lemon?
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Hopefully this video is
Usually I would say this in a fun and joking way, but in all honesty, today's episode deals with very serious,
Why do you
very
look like that?
sad, and very scary topics. This is, without question, the darkest, most emotional episode of Game Theory.
I can lie?
You guys want the
Just be
subtitles on or
warned,
no?
This episode gets intense.
It's whatever. I like the subtitles.
Awesome Game Theory and
I
shit.
love it because
Yo,
I've been kind of barely here.
he says he loves it.
See, I think it's too loud,
That
Lemon.
doesn't help, Ryan.
Lemon, I think it's too loud, Lemon. I had to lower it down.
Hello, Internet! Well,
Just enjoy the subtitles, Lemon.
Theory.
You're doing this to yourself.
So, you made it past that initial warning, huh? Consider
Lemon,
yourself brave,
you
do
did,
ya?
I'm sorry.
Well, it's now time to get serious.
Gotta stick to it.
And scary. Today we're
Serious and
talking
scary,
about
baby.
Petty
That's
Never
the whole
Play.
thing.
You see, 5
Who the fuck
months
is
ago,
that?
March 12th, 2017,
Did y'all play this
a brand
game?
new YouTube channel
No.
began uploading
I don't think it's a real
unexpected
game.
videos of an incomplete
Oh.
unstyled
I
game.
mean-
He said the game that you'll never
The
play.
person playing, who never
Alright.
introduces himself,
I mean, I thought maybe y'all played.
talking
It
about
kind
this
of
game
reminds
is
me of
way
that one game you played with Albert. That hacking game.
To you.
Needle
I'm
pet?
not lying about this game.
Yeah.
He starts it up, and it immediately feels like Pokemon.
It does,
Our
but-
mission is to collect
oh.
quirky little creatures called pets, not by battling them, but rather by solving puzzles.
Yeah, Lemon,
For
we got you.
instance, one
Oh, that's
pet named
cute.
Wave.
It's like
This
Pokemon,
area
bruh.
is known as the Gift Plane, and the first signpost tells us that this world once provided homes to over 100 different pets, but now only 48.
Yeah,
That is a good
Lemon.
point.
Another sign encourages us to find
That is a good
somebody
point,
that we
Lemon.
like, that we don't have
You know
to
what else is
love
great?
them right away.
My account.
Huh.
How about you
That's
catch my
an
account
odd
and
thing
buy
to
it?
say. And a third tells us not
Lemon,
to
I'm not gonna
encourage
kiss you,
them to
bro.
just run.
Lemon,
They do
I
want a
can't
home,
agree
but
with
they're
that.
I
just
heard,
afraid, and
Mikey.
then it's our
I
job
heard
to show
that.
them that there's
Yeah,
nothing to
well-
fear.
What the fuck is this guy even saying, bro?
Thing to say. And a
fuck
third
is
tells
that?
us not to be discouraged if the pets run.
He says,
and they
"Hell
don't
yeah,
want a
Mikey,
home, but
lady."
They're just afraid, and then it's our job to show them that there's nothing to fear. Okay, sure, but then in the process of solving the
little
next
crazy.
puzzle, Paul proceeds to
You
steal
love
the
you,
water
Mikey.
from a flower,
Yeah,
smack its head
I
with a
know.
bucket.
Rada rada.
Process of
Lemon just
solving the next
rambles
puzzle,
on, bro. I
Paul
can't even hear the
water
video
from
because
a
he's saying random
flower,
shit.
Smack its head with a bucket, cause it to wilt, and then huzzah! A new pet is caught. Not quite the way to show our new pet kindness.
Yay,
but
new
hey,
pet!
one of our
Huzzah!
Pokedex.
So
In the
just
first
a
couple
weird
minutes, you can
Pokemon.
already tell that things in this game are a bit.
It's gonna get weird, Ryan. So weird.
The
You know,
sound effects are distorted,
poop your pants.
weird. The
My fault.
in-game text just feels.
yes, sir.
off.
Yes, sir.
And let's be honest, your character has an olive green butt for a face. But it's
I literally was thinking that, bro.
It
It looks pretty
when
weird.
things start to get really unusual.
I thought he was like had a Cthulhu, like a squid face.
No
Dot
longer in the white and pink
EXE.
world of the gift plane, but in some sort of underworld, a layer beneath the surface game. And this is where the true
It's
mystery
Slenderman,
of
dude.
Petscop
The fucking 8
begins. It's
pages.
in this
Yeah, what the hell?
underworld
The
where
homie
over the next
Slenderman,
9
bro.
videos we watch Paul encounter dead children,
Yo, Michael,
disfigured
that's me.
sprites, Paul censoring
Yeah.
images for unknown reasons, and a
Ew, what the
haunted,
fuck?
cursed game capable of acting on its own. Now, it should be
Where's
fairly
my-
obvious
Oh.
that Petscop is a
Captain
game
Myers.
created by Paul.
I
but
did see a
don't admire
M
the
and a Y.
pettiness of this for a second.
Yeah,
It's a
probably
fake
so
let's
my.
play of a fake game purposely built with
Nah.
hidden code and a dark hidden secret, all in an attempt to
Fake
create a
let's
real-life
play.
creepypasta like the story of Ben Drowned. You know, the one that tale of a child who died.
Dude, I'm
It's a
actively
copy of Zelda
shitting my
Majora's
pants,
Mask.
dude.
But unlike other creepypastas that are based on fictional stories, Petscop's
Wow.
biggest story the game
Yo, this
is
might be
trying to
actually
tell
kinda
is the
wicked.
story
I'm not gonna
behind
lie, I had to pause real quick. So it's a fake game, like he just said, a fake let's play of a real story. That's pretty cool. Someone actually
What a
made
hook.
this whole thing, like a whole fake game, just to, that's pretty cool, man. I ain't gonna lie.
What a crazy hook to get someone to
Mhm.
listen to your story.
It's pretty cool. What do you think, Lemon?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yo, the subtitles are gonna go crazy for Lemon, bro.
You gotta make him seem super
But
enthusiastic.
like, I don't
I
know.
was like, yeah, I love my friends. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna restart.
This game is super innovative.
is one that'll make you go cold.
Yeah.
And one
Yo,
that
fucking
has a disclaimer.
Gary Lewis, dude.
Video. 2000. Evergreen,
I quit
Colorado.
Walmart
Born
and I
into
killed
an
someone.
abusive home, Candace Tiara Elmore had been taken away from her family by social services
Where is he?
at age
What?
5, separated from her younger siblings,
the hell?
Michael and Chelsea. After 2 years,
Bro, he
of
just-
being
he just
passed
dropped
around
this
between
random
foster homes,
family
Candace
lore.
had finally been adopted by a middle-aged
Oh.
nurse named
This-
Jean Newmaker. With the adoption
Alright.
had come a noted that
Whoa.
Candace exhibited severe
I don't think this is game
psychological
theory
and
no
behavioral
more.
problems, setting fires in the house, assaulting other children, destroying
Okay.
property. It's
That just sounds like
unclear
Fallon,
whether these
dude.
reports are true,
What?
as others claim
It does,
Candace
bro.
was
Bro,
a
is
sweet
this your
boy
lore,
child. But regardless,
No,
when
it's not.
medication and counseling proved ineffective at healing their relationship,
No, Evan, I don't
wanna
they
sleep
decided
with
to
you.
try an experimental
I heard that gay ass dude, bro.
form of treatment
crazy.
aimed at helping adopted
Crazy,
children
Lemon.
connect with their new parents. Something
What?
known as attachment therapy. That Tuesday morning, as part of her 2 weeks of treatment,
what is this,
10-year-old
Brian?
Candace Newmaker was meant to simulate being born as a means of helping her
What the
reattach
fuck?
to her new mother. As a part of this so-called rebirthing, 2 therapists wrapped Candace in a flannel blanket, covered her in
Yeah, whoa, that's
Is
crazy.
this real?
Yeah.
Attachment
Yeah.
therapy. This whole like recreating childbirth, Lemon. It's a weird shit. Alright, let's go.
The following
What the
lines are
hell?
direct excerpts
This is
from
how
the
Albert was
training
born.
session. And again,
Oh.
I offer you one final warning. Click to the timestamp you see pictured on screen if you'd like to skip this section.
Ooh.
Bro, Matt Pat is telling us to skip it, bruh. That
Nah,
means-
we ain't losers.
That means it's weird, bruh, or freaky. Oh god.
I can handle it. I can handle freaky. Let's get it.
For the
Jesus.
next 10 minutes,
What
she
the
continues
fuck?
to cry for help, for
They
oxygen.
just Dutch ovened her, bro.
Candace begins to shout that she's dying. Still no response. 16 minutes in, Candace, confused and
Damn.
to die right now. For
Yeah,
real.
that's crazy.
For real.
What the fuck?
What?
Real for real is crazy.
Stuck in a blanket under
Yo,
the
for-
weight
they
of
double for her,
673 pounds, Candace begins to vomit and defecate onto herself.
Oh my god.
The only
Oh,
response
ew.
from the 2 therapists: go ahead, stay in there with the poop and vomit. 40
What the
minutes
fuck?
in, therapist.
They ain't
She gets
therapists?
to be stuck in her own puke and poop. It's her own life. Quitter, 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 quitter,
That's crazy.
quitter, quit,
What
quit,
the
quit,
fuck?
quit. She's a quitter. This baby doesn't want to live. She's a quitter. At this point,
Jesus,
Candace
bro.
has gone silent. Still. And yet the torture continues. 70 minutes after wrapping this
Bro.
10-year-old in a blanket and sitting on her,
Bro,
the 5 adults in the
I
room
feel
finally
sick,
decide
bro.
that she can come out, saying, "Let's talk to the twerp." Upon seeing her lying on the
Jesus.
ground, oh, there she is. She died later
Wow,
that day.
that's
A year later,
wicked.
the 2 therapists would be found guilty of reckless child abuse, receiving a 16-year prison sentence, of which they served 7. Everyone else in the
Damn.
room,
What the
two
fuck?
other adults sitting
Seven?
on the child, as well as Jean Newmaker, who watched it all happen, only received
Lame, bro, lame.
Obviously, this is a horrific story. The tragedy of
This
an
is
innocent
real?
girl raised
I told-
in the
oh my
worst
God.
possible situation.
I guess it was
is
real, yeah,
by
wow.
greedy and callous
Fucking
individuals.
Gail Lewis, bro.
It's
How
Bro,
cool.
she's fat.
raising
bro.
some
Of course
the
he's gonna
worst
die.
deaths of humanity possible. But
I'm not making it out of there, bro.
connecting the events of Candace Newmaker's
Yo, I wonder what happens if I,
Nah,
with my
bro.
fat ass,
helps
if I
explain
sit
the
on this
core
little
themes and
girl.
disturbing imagery of this
The
creepy web
fuck?
series.
That's crazy.
The first and most obvious connection is that you are called Newmaker in the game. In one of the underground
Oh.
rooms, you find a device named Tool that
Okay.
answers the questions that you ask. When Paul asks, "Who am I?" it
I hope-
responds with
Run
Newmaker.
into my room
When
and
asked,
just see the
"Where
Michael
am
Myers
I?"
again.
the answer it returns is under the Newmaker plane. So already we
fuck?
see a direct name connection, but that's far from the only one. In Petscop Part 3, Paul finds a note with a
Part
lot
3.
of disturbing information on it, but the sentence that stands out reads, "Tiara says young people can be psychologically damaged beyond rebirthing." Not only do we have the mention of rebirthing, the same procedure that took Candace's life, but the name Tiara appears to be a direct reference to Candace Tiara Elmore, her birth name before being adopted by Jean Newmaker. This connection is further supported by a note found
That's
during
so
Petscop
fucked.
2. It reads,
Nah, that's crazy, bro.
"Do you
Getting adopted by
remember
Jabba the
being
Hutt."
born?" Question similar to what
That's
the
wicked,
therapists
Mikey.
asked Candace before she was wrapped in
Strap me up, let's get it.
Interestingly enough,
So
when
there
you
you go,
ask
Mikey.
that same question back
Yeah.
to Tool, it responds with, "I am not Tiara." Again,
Oh, what the hell?
reinforcing the idea of birth with
Oh.
Tiara, and implying that she does understand being born, or at least
Interesting.
understands the concept of being reborn. The "I am not Tiara" can also be a
kinda
reference
cool,
to
but also
Tiara
weird
no
as
longer
frick.
being Candace's real name after her rebirth.
yeah,
She had
it's-
been
that's kinda
reborn
gross and
as a
scary.
Newmaker. It's also worth noting in a huge piece of evidence supporting this theory that the "Do you remember being born" note is found on the wall of a room that is clearly labeled as the Quitter's Room. A direct
Damn.
reference to Candace's story where the therapists repeat over and over, "Quitter, quitter, quit." There are also other smaller name
That's
parallels as
wicked,
well.
wow.
For instance, Petscop was supposedly
Oh,
made by the
right,
company
ew.
Carolina, a completely made-up game developer. Candace is born and adopted in the state of North Carolina. Candace in real life also had a brother named Michael, and there just so happens to be a child's tombstone in the game with the name Michael on it. And of course, the name Candace is only one letter off from one of the pet names in the game, Randus. That last point
What
also
the
brings up
hell?
one of the recurring themes that we see present
homie
throughout
Randus.
Petscop.
Randus,
The parallels
bro.
between the pets and children. Because in the game, you can actually catch both. On the gift plane, remember the cute and fun top
Bro, I don't even
world,
wanna
you
talk,
catch
this is just
pets,
so interesting,
birds,
bro.
plants, little purple meatballs. In the underground,
Like, what
the
the hell?
Newmaker plane, we see
I don't know.
Paul catch a crying human girl named
Isn't a
Claire,
human is crazy.
listed in the pet roster
There's
as
some Binding of
Claire
Isaac
LLM.
Pokemon type
And
shit.
know
Oh,
that
now,
she's a human.
I'm
The
sorry.
game makes this
I'm
distinction
just gonna cut
very
that part
clear.
out.
In the underground, there's a building called the Child Library. It's a building filled with rooms for thousands
Lemon's
of children.
favorite place.
In fact, you can visit the rooms of both
That's
Claire and
the
Michael,
reason why
but there's
I
also a
found
hole
that.
in the front. It's kind of like an ATM where you can make deposits. When Paul tries to deposit one of his
Damn,
pets in
son.
episode 7, the game clearly gives him the prompt that the Child Library only accepts people. But when he tries to deposit
Damn.
Care NLM in video 9, it works, establishing that as Newmaker, you are catching everything. It's also worth noting the significant parallels
What the
between the
fuck?
gift plane
Like a weird
and the
Pokemon
Newmaker
trainer,
plane.
bruh.
Designs that appear in the background animation of the gift plane directly reference patterns you see on blocks hidden in various rooms throughout the underground, with actions
pretty
performed
cool.
on the surface level directly impacting what's happening down below. For instance, Paul
Damn.
walking on the treadmill in the keyboard room times out perfectly with him
Alright,
plucking flower
that's the one
petals
texting me?
underground
Nope.
in the Newmaker plane. Times out
Damn.
exactly. It just goes to
That's
show that these
sick.
two worlds are connected, with the game
Yeah, whoever
trying
made
to
this,
prove
bro?
the
Hold
point
on, I'm
that
gonna pause real
adopt-
quick. Like, whoever made this, like the fake game or whatever, and like I guess like creepypasta, yo, they fucking god damn, that's
Jim,
actually
some
pretty
work
cool.
into it, bro.
like Gene Newmaker is the equivalent of giving
Wow.
themselves a new pet. In fact, the themes of adoption and
Damn.
family love are perhaps the defining feature of Petscop. As I mentioned
Forced
before,
love
the
is
signs at the very
crazy.
beginning of the game tell you that the pets want to find a good home, but that they'll run because
They're
they're scared.
afraid.
Your job is to
Damn.
show them love. Instead,
Is that why you have, like,
trick
a
them,
butt face?
beat them,
I don't
and
know,
trap
Mikey.
them
'Cause
in
you're-
order
'cause
to
you're Newman?
catch them. Even Care
I don't
NLM,
think-
Or
in the
Newmaker?
in-game description
I don't
makes
think
it
that's it.
clear that you lied to her
Nah, that's
in
it,
order
bro.
to
To
capture
capture,
her.
you had to
This is just
lie.
like
That's
Candace and other
crazy.
children looking for
Damn.
adoption. They're looking for a good home, and although
I
they're
should have known,
scared,
bro. I should have
with a little
known.
patience, they'll eventually learn love love and trust their new parents. But just like Paul's character in the game, Gene Newmaker used violence to try and force Candace to love her. In fact, here's a quote from one of the websites covering the Newmaker story.
It's pissing me off, I don't know
she
why.
acted not like a mother, but an
think I know why.
outraged consumer. She seems to have thought that when she adopted Candace, she had a right to a normal parent-child relationship. When Candace's natural bond with the mother she'd shown for her first 6 years persisted, Newmaker took Candace to Evergreen to be cured of it. End quote. This
Damn.
mentality is
This
reflected
this is
in the
actually, like, it's
gift
pissing me
imagery
off,
present
right? It's
throughout
actually
the game.
really, like,
Both pets
I
and
hate
children in
people,
Petscop are seen as gifts.
Bro.
The gift plane is where the player can find a pet to bring home. In the underworld, Michael's grave is in the shape of a gift box. The quote on his tombstone is that Mike was a gift. This parallels the real-life
Sad
saying
about
that
me.
a child is a gift from God,
Yeah, that's
but
how
it
you
makes
get-
the child into a commodity rather than a
Makes sense.
person. And just like a gift, it promotes the idea that the child can be returned if it's defective. In Petscop, the little girl Care
Damn.
has 3 forms. Care A, a happy, healthy girl. Care B, one where she's growing sad. And Care NLM, one who is broken, covering her eyes and crying. It's well established in the Petscop
Like Siege with
community
lemon,
that the NLM stands for
I'd be like
Nobody
that too.
Loves Me. But the game shows us through her
That's great.
description that there is hope for Care. You're the new maker.
You know, you're gonna
You can
be in the
turn
second
Care
team from the
NLM
second-
to Care A and close
I
the
love you
loop.
too, Lemon. Thank you.
NLM,
What
one
is
who is
NLM?
broken, covering her eyes and crying.
You said it, but I couldn't
It's
hear. I
well
know
established
nobody
in the
loves me.
Petscop
That's
community
crazy.
that the NLM stands for
Oh.
Nobody Loves Me. But the game shows us through her description that there is hope for Care. You're the new maker. You can turn Care NLM to Care A and close the loop. Instead, immediately after reading that, Paul abandons her, dropping
my
her
God.
off in the department
Jesus
in
Christ.
front of the child library and getting the message, you've decided to leave Care NLM. In case you change your mind
Jesus.
in 6 months, you can take her back. She had the ability to recover, but instead he gives up on her, returning her like a defective
Yeah.
item from the store. Care was a gift, just a gift that he didn't want. It's the same in real life as between 10 and 25% of US adoptions end in similar sorts of returns. It's a big number. And if there was still doubt in the connection between Candace's story and Petscop, look at the dates. Candace died in April of 2000. Exactly 1 year later, in April of 2001, the therapists were sentenced to 16 years in prison. 16 years. On April 1st, 2017, Petscop's second video
Okay.
is uploaded. The one where the locked door allowing access to the Newmaker plane and Candace's story mysteriously opens up on its own, after Paul himself admits that he's never been able to figure out how it opens before. April 2017, exactly 16
so cool.
years after trial.
Damn.
The exact
I love when
date
people-
when the
oh, I'll tell you
therapists
after.
were supposed to be released from prison, bringing the
This is
Candace
crazy, bro.
story
This
to
is
a
sick.
close.
Like,
The
in
story
both
Very
like
complex.
a cool way and like a
presents
gross way.
Adopted children struggling to
Yeah.
find loving homes. Those aren't stories that should remain buried under happy-go-lucky facades. And Petscop is a game that seems to want to ensure that these stories continue to be heard. I added to it a bit here, but the Candace
my mic.
Newmaker theory is currently the most widely accepted of the Petscop fan theories, pieced together by an incredible fan
I mean,
community
it makes
picking
the
apart
most
every
It makes
sense.
sense.
detail
Yeah, I
of
mean,
this
as he
scripted
reads
web
it, just like
series.
it
And
just all
personally,
sticks.
I'm a
but-
firm believer in it. The parallels are just too strong
Yeah.
to real life. That said,
They really are
I
just too
believe
strong.
It's the whole story. There is so much to unpack in this web series. The mysterious items Paul censors, the character of Mike Hammond, Tool getting possessed, the disappearing windmill, Marvin and the Black Monster Man, who the game was originally made for, and on and
That's gotta be
on
racist.
and on. If you are at all
I don't know, Mikey.
interested, I encourage you to join that community of theorists and give the series a look. It is a great group that is well worth your time trying to unwrap something that has clearly had a lot of time and attention put into it. It is my hope that we'll get another installment, or who knows, maybe even an actual version of the game sometime soon. But until then, I think the most appropriate way to end today's episode is to tell someone that you love them. Tell them that they're important to you and that you appreciate them.
Hey, Lemon, you love
No
me?
one should ever have to go
You-
here and there.
You appreciate me, Lemon?
Mikey, I hate you, bro. Kill yourself.
Love me, Lemon? Yeah!
No.
So share some love.
Hell yeah,
And
let's get it.
remember, it's all
She
just
loves
a
me.
theory. Not the love, just the game theory. Thank you guys for
Proud to
watching.
clarify.
That was crazy, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
Great.
I don't think I can watch another
Good
one.
video.
That
Good video.
it was very good.
That was pretty crazy. What were we gonna say before? Here, like I'll
I
tell
was
you.
gonna
after.
say, I love it when like not like what do they call like creepy pasta or whatever? When they like or like weird videos, they post something on a date, like a specific date that like something happens like on that day. Like
Yeah.
there are other like stuff I'll show you after the video or whatever. But like it's like when they post something on that date, you know, like they have a specific date in mind. I think it's so cool because it just like plays along with it. I think that's so cool. But
Nah,
no, bro, this
crazy.
video, yeah, bro, it freaked me out, bro. Like,
It's
It was
cool,
mind-opening.
but, like, it's weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but it's cool.
Fallon, what do you think, Fallon?
It's a fake game.
It was cool, and I think there had to be a lot of fucking work that went into the
Yeah, bro
like,
made a whole
game
for this.
and the
Whole game
Yeah.
for himself, and then he had to film it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
crazy, dude.
and research everything.
Yeah, and all the concepts he had to do for like the.
That's crazy.
And there's still more mysteries into it. You know, he was just describing, you know, the disappearing windmill, the shadowy figure.
But there
Mike
are
Hannon.
6 videos, I think, 6 or 5. But we're not gonna watch the other ones right now because I need a lot to take in. That's actually kind of crazy. But that's really cool.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.